How's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Grind. This is the end of week number 4, which means we are now officially a month into this Project 6 challenge, and it's time to step it up. I forgot to film my Monday bit. I forgot to film my Monday day apparently, so it starts from Tuesday this week. But I've been doing a lot of reflecting this week. I feel like now it's a case of, right, now it's time to step it up. Now it's time to really put some work in, you know? But I really like on and off week with this. And because we're a month in, it means we've got 5 months left. A lot's got to happen in those 5 months if we're going to be successful. So let's jump into it. I'm not going to say any more. Appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
It is Tuesday the 28th of July, and we are going to do some, I'm going to sound really fancy now, we're going to do some remote working.
Who's making a racket, bro?
Yeah, we're going to do some remote working in a cafe, because I think I mentioned it yesterday. I've just dropped my dad off at an appointment. We're going to be a few hours yet, so we're going to get some good grub. I've not had no coffee. I've had 0 coffee. I'm going to get some coffee and some breakfast, and I'm going to plonk myself. Oh, I forgot my iPad charger.
Oh, bro, I forgot my charger.
Anyway, I'm going to go and get some scran and some coffee, and I'm going to go and do some stuff, because I have a list. I didn't finish my list from yesterday, so I'm going to work through my list, and I'm going to figure out a few things. So I'll check in with you in a bit.
So the plan is I'm going to work through this list. I think I showed it yesterday. Let's see if you can, I don't know if you can hear me. That list, I'm going to work through that list. I've just had some breakfast. I've got about an hour before I have to go and get my dad, so I'm going to work through that list as much as I can. I've already done a big chunk of it. But I'm going to do that. And then when I get home, I'm going to try and put my video together for today, because I've still not done that yet, so that is on the list. And then I'm going to try and plan some actual content. Because if you watched my video yesterday, well, you already watched it, will you? Well, I don't know if you follow me on social media, you might, but yesterday I was saying I used to create like really simple low-key cinematic videos, and I want to get back to that because I miss it. So my plan is to try and do some of that this week, and get back to that regularly, because they were fairly easy to make. So that's the plan. Got my iPad with me, it's next to it, you can't see it. We'll go and get me dad, and then we'll go home, and then we'll crack on.
It's Wednesday the 29th of July of week number 4. Mental. I'm going to be honest with you today. I'm very tired. Very tired. It genuinely, we're only on Wednesday, and it genuinely feels like it's been a long week. And to be honest, it's probably just the combination of early starts that I've had. Because I haven't really done anything too strenuous this week. It's just been like busy life stuff, you know. So it's probably the combination of the early morning starts that is just kind of caught up with me again. Mainly because I don't feel like doing much, to be honest, and it's nothing other than tiredness. So I'm not going to exert myself too much, you know. I'm not going to exert myself too much. I'm just going to get Wednesday's video edited and uploaded, and then I've got two 30-day series planned, and I need to flesh them out, and I need to work out when I want to start which one and what platform I want them to be on, which, if I'm not careful, that could potentially turn into a big job, because I have a skill set that nobody else has, and I can take a tiny task and I can make it a major task. So if I'm not careful, that's what can happen to that. So I need to work that out. I've still not played any FIFA since last week, which I said I wanted to do. And you'll probably not be surprised to know at this point that I've still not opened any of these. And I want to open these, but genuinely, the more that time goes on, the more that my brain just forgets that I've got them, and I just think, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, you know. But I actually want to open some. I need to get myself organised is what I need to do. So we are approaching 12 o'clock midday. So I think I'll get some dinner. I'll get the footage off you and onto my laptop and start editing that in the afternoon. Play some Assassin's Creed. I want to play some Assassin's Creed, some Valhalla. I've not finished that game. I want to finish that game. I think I'll just have a bit of a chill one. It's weird, right? Because like now that I got that assignment out the way on Friday last week, I actually have nothing to do until September. Until like halfway through September. I got nothing to do except focus on my goals. And it's important that we keep the schedule up, because if I don't, I fall into a weird state of procrastination where nothing gets done. Like I don't go to gym, I don't do anything for benefiting myself at all, and everything drops off. So it's crucial now more than ever, now that we've done the final assignment, that we keep up some level of schedule and routine, because otherwise we'll just... So that's my plan for today. I've already been yapping for nearly 4 minutes. I'm not going to probably check in with you again until tomorrow now, so I will leave it at that, and that is Wednesday.
It is Thursday, the 30th of July, and I'm about to make a short form video on this thought really, but I'm feeling like I started the week fairly tired, but I've been feeling rather reflective this week. And I saw a reel yesterday, I think it was, and the guy was saying you're stuck somewhere between your old life and the new one you're trying to build, and you've still got like habits from your old life that you're trying to get rid of that can't carry over into the new life, because the new version of yourself doesn't have those habits, but you're trying to build new ones, and it's like this weird middle ground. And I was like, yeah. Yeah, I would, if you had to put me in a category, I would say that's the category where I am right now. It feels really difficult because you're obviously far from your old life, but you're still in the middle between your old and your new that you're trying to build. But with that also comes like questions, you know. It's like, okay, I can see where I want to go. I can see the version of the person that I want to be. And I kind of mentioned this a little bit in yesterday's video, Wednesday's video that went up, when I was talking about my fitness journey, and I said I want it to be a whole encompassing journey, and not just I go to the gym and lift weights and lose weight. I want it to be a whole thing, like the version of me in the future that I envision is somebody who fully takes care of himself, you know. Eat good, sleep good, work out good, swimming, walking, hiking, cold plunges, saunas, skincare, all of it. It's like a whole encompassing journey. And I think now just comes the time of working out how we get there, you know, working out the steps to get there. So this week has kind of been a bit of a pondering week, I would say, because we're 4 weeks into it nearly. The end of this week will be 4 weeks into this. So we've been at it for a month. We started off well. We started off like with high motivation, high drive, and that's good. We've started. We haven't really made anything proper yet. And this is where the thoughtfulness has come in this week, is that I haven't really made anything worthwhile to me at the moment, really. I can see where I want to go. I can see the stuff I want to do. I can see the version of the person I want to be. How do we do that? That is the question I've been asking myself this week. How do we do that? And we have to work that out now. You know? We have to work that out. Because I see people trying to motivate you through content, and they'll say stuff like, you know, 6 months ago I had no money, I had a part-time job, and I had this car. Now 6 months down the line, I'm bringing 10k months, I've got a car of my dreams, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And you can argue all day long whether that's fake or real or not, but nobody tells you how, you know? They just go, I was here, now I'm here. They don't tell you about the bit in the middle. The bit where I currently am is the bit in the middle, you know? They don't tell you how to navigate the bit in the middle. They just go, I was here, now I'm here. End of. And then they go, you can do it too. It's like, well, yeah, I believe you that I can do it, but you're not telling me how you did it. You know, that's down to you as the individual to work out how you do it. You know, and I guess that's my purpose behind all of this, is to document every aspect of it, because when we're eventually successful, we can look back on exactly how we did it. It's just obviously when you're living it in the moment, you're like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get my finances up? How am I going to get my mentality up? You know, how am I going to do X, Y, Z? How am I going to create the content that I want to create? How am I going to do better in the gym? How am I going to do better X, Y, Z? And rather than try and get overwhelmed by it all, I'm like, right, okay, let's look at the 4 categories that I've said in this 6 months I want to change. Then formulate easy steps in each category. And then go, right, let's do a bit of this, do a bit of that. You know? And I think that's the move, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's the move.
It is Friday, the 31st of whatever month we're in, July, and we're on the way to have a meeting with our friend today. We're stuck in traffic currently. This is the stretch of the M62 that is always like this, no matter what time of the day you go down it. Which is why I love it so much. Said nobody ever. Genuinely, I said in yesterday's video, I think, on my short form videos, that I feel like I'm stuck between the old version of me and the version of me that I'm trying to be, you know. I'm stuck between that. I'm kind of in that middle ground, you know, that no man's land, or that void, if you will, where you're not the person that you used to be. There's maybe a couple of habits that are still clinging on that you need to get rid of, but you're also not the person that you want to be either. And you're not both, like, mentally and physically in the place where you want to be. So it's weird. It's a weird place, man, because you've got a lot to figure out, you've got a lot to navigate, you've got a lot to work out, because you're just kind of in the void, you know what I mean? You're kind of in this void in the middle, and you're like, okay, I know where I want to go. Always a good thing when you know where you want to go, but when you're not equipped to do it, you know what I mean? Or when you feel like you're not equipped to do it, and you're like, what do I do now? Where do I go? You know? And I also felt like the other week, it was last week I think it was, I felt like God was saying to me, you know, it's a good start, you made a good start, but now it's time to sprint. And I was like saying to him last night, and I'm like, yeah, but what am I sprinting towards? You know, where am I going? I know that I've got to, like, get a move on, and I've got to pick up the pace, but I don't 100% know how to do it, you know what I mean? And so it's like we're in this kind of bit in the middle where I'm like, okay, oh, that's nice. That is very nice. Just passing my dream car, SL63. Very nice. Or an AMG 63, should I say. That's still nice, that SL63 though. But yeah, I'm kind of in that spot in the middle where it's like, alright, if I look to my left, it's where I've come from, and if I look to my right, it's where I'm going, you know. And it's like, how do we do that? So I think there's an element to my content that I'm struggling with at the moment, which is, I know that I want to make content, but I don't always know how to execute it, or I don't always know how to package it or what it looks like, you know. And partially why I wanted to do these Behind the Grind series is because this is where the raw thoughts happen, you know. This is where the real thoughts happen in real time. It's where we figure stuff out, you know. It's where we start forming plans, and it's where we start figuring out steps to take, you know, to get to where we want to be. It's one of them. I think today I've had a very thoughtful week, do you know what I mean? I've been pondering a lot this week and thinking about a lot of things, and I know exactly the version of the person, I know exactly the person I want to be, because I see it every single day in my mind. Every day I wake up, I see the car I'm driving, I see the body physique that I've got, I see the mental attitude that I've got. I see the position I'm at in life. Do you know what I mean? I see it every single day. I'm not even kidding. Most of the time, it's the first thing that is what I think about when I wake up. So I know where I want to go, and I know the version of me that I want to be. It's just knowing how to execute on those plans, you know. So it's one of them. It's one of them, you know. Sometimes I don't always know what that looks like in my content, and I'm like, I just know that I want to be creative. I know that I want to create content, but I don't always know how to package that. And I know, like, today's a bit of a long spout. Like, I'm waffling a little bit now, do you know what I mean? But it's like, the reason why I've always overthought my process and over-engineered it is because of the times where I've gone, you know what, I know that I want to make something and I want to create something, but I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how to package it, you know. And that's the reasons why I've always tried to overthink the process and overplan it, because of that very reason. So this whole aspect of this Project 6, this whole thing is about figuring it all out and navigating it and fine-tuning it along the way, you know. Yeah, I don't think I've got much more to say today other than that, really, but if I do, then I will check in with you later.
It's Saturday, the 1st of August, and by now I should have had stuff ready to launch, but I do not. And to be honest, I don't feel like doing it. It's just one of them days, I think, where I need to go away and I need to come back to it. Do you know what I mean? So, because I'm not feeling very, what's the word? I don't know. I'm tired. I think I need to go away and take some time for myself today, this afternoon. I was going to edit my video, this one that you're watching right now, but I'll do it in a bit later on, probably. So I'm gonna remove myself from the whole thing for a bit, go and chill out, play some PlayStation, and I'll come back to it in a bit, because I think that's the sensible thing to do. So there's nothing to report today. It will be a day of editing, as most Saturdays will probably be, I think, when I'm not out shooting events. I nearly went to a car event today, but I didn't end up going. So that is that. I'm gonna go and chill, try and wind down and clear the clutter up here, and then I will come back to it.
So that was the end of week number 4 of this whole process. We're officially a month into it, of the 6-month challenge. These next 5 months, we're off to a good start, but these next 5 months have to be something else. I'm really feeling like we need to step it up now. So if you enjoyed this video, or if you like this series in general, drop me a like. If you want to subscribe, you know what to do, it's down at the bottom. If you want to share this video with your mates and your dog and your grandma. If you like the video, feel free to share it with all the people and all that jazz, and I will see you in the next one.